Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in here.
Oh, I gotta restart the fucking audio program. Well, I don't know what's going on with this. I need to fix this. I have to restart the program after every episode that we do. Let's try this again. So let me do it. So you said that you're looking up the trivia for Beverly Hills Cop 3? Anything interesting?
No, I'm just reading the. There's a couple things here that are pretty interesting.
Like what?
The original concept for the third film was Axel Foley goes to Europe to deal with his partner being killed, and the Scotland Yard counterpart was going to be John Cleese, and it was going to be a British gangster, loosely based on the Cray brothers, were captured in Detroit and transported to London by Paul Reiser's character from the second movie, and then they kill Paul Reiser, and he has to go to Europe and solve the case. And Jerry Bruckheimer thought it was too much like Black Rain.
Okay, makes sense. Another episode about Black Rain, because Black Rain played after I watched Virtuosity.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say Black Rain is the current theme in this.
I've never seen Black Rain, so I don't.
It's fine. There's nothing really to it. It's kind of just generic.
Sounds like you got something good there. What's going on? I'll play an intro here in a second.
Yeah, I'm just
okay. Do you want to play the intro first?
Beat of this.
You take a minute to read.
No, you go for
intro, and then you can do the intro because it's your episode.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So, Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yes.
A 1994 release.
Oh.
One of the worst blockbuster movies probably ever made, but for some reason, there's something about it that we enjoy. It's got this weird charm to it, directed by John Landis, who didn't want to really direct it, and I don't think Eddie Murphy wanted to do it. But the original budget was $40 million, and it ballooned to $75 million, and $15 million went to Eddie Murphy.
His nose.
So Eddie Murphy walked away really rich, right into his nose.
Oh, when you're doing the third movie in a successful franchise, it should go up your nose.
Yeah, and I guess Bronson Pinchot said that Eddie Murphy was very depressed during the movie. You could tell.
Eddie was?
Oh, Axel Foley is so depressed. It's a Packwell. It's a Packwell. It's Paxo. That's funny. It's Sarge.
Sarge. Sounds like a detergent.
Detergent.
All I could think of was the soda. Surge?
That's right. Oh, God, what an awful time for soda.
It was like Mountain Dew on.
You probably still have it. Does Phoenix, Arizona still have Surge? That fucking ridiculous.
Do.
Surge does not exist anywhere else.
Surge came back like, I want to say a decade ago. It came back.
Yeah, but not here. Yeah.
But I believe, when you come here, we'll go to the QT.
Oh, I'm going to look. Yeah.
We'll go through and we'll just pick out whatever you haven't had in a while. You can have your Peeps Pepsi that I brought up last week. Trust me, man. I'm one of those guys who I'll buy the new one. Just
right. Yeah. Just try it.
Just to try it. Like I love Kit Kats. It's my favorite candy bar.
Right. Yeah.
I want to go to Japan because they have like hundreds of flavors of Kit Kats. But every once in a while, you'll get the new flavor here at like Walmart or like a gas station.
Right.
And I buy every one of them. And they're always like, okay. And I never buy a second one because I want to try it. And I'm the same way with Pepsi. And I'll try it. And I'm like, the Peeps one was the only one where I went, oh, goddamn. No. No.
That's gross.
It didn't taste like Peeps. It was just gross Pepsi.
Yeah. It was like, melted marshmallow in Pepsi, basically.
Yeah.
Disgusting. The number of director cameos. Yes, Dick here and Phoenix West over there. And what's funny about this movie is it's littered with cameos by directors themselves. You have Martha Coolidge, Joe Dante, Arthur Hiller.
Let's slow down. Martha Coolidge. Who does she
Yeah.
play in the movie?
It doesn't say, but I know.
Oh,
I
sorry.
remember Joe Dante. Joe Dante is the cop that takes Foley out of the jail cell to the federal agent in the police station.
Okay, I was
That's
not
that.
looking.
Yeah.
And I've seen this movie 10,000 times, by the way.
I'm going to assume Martha Coolidge was with George Lucas.
You know, that makes sense. She's holding the teddy bear.
Yeah, I would say maybe that's who that is. And then Arthur Hiller, and then Peter Mendak, Barbette Schroeder, George Schaefer, and John Singleton, and Ray Harryhausen are all at the bar at the end where he shot Uncle Dave.
Yeah. Barbette Schroeder directed a couple Nick Cage movies, so I definitely recognize that name.
Wow.
Barbette Schroeder. Not a bad director, actually, if you look him up. Barbette. I will look him up right now.
See, I think the problem was Eddie Murphy wanted this to be more of a Wesley Snipes, Denzel Washington vehicle for himself, and that's just not what he can do. He shouldn't play that part because he wanted Axel to be a little bit more mature, and he was older.
Yeah. I agree, but also I did. We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to get to Barbette Schroeder real quick, and we're done on him. He did some Mad Men episodes. He did Murder by Numbers, which is not a good movie.
No.
He did a movie we brought up last week, which is Desperate Measures.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Kiss of Death, Nick Cage movie.
All right, there you go.
Single White Female.
There you go.
Yeah. Reversal of Fortune, Barfly.
Barfly, yes.
What's this other Nick Cage? He did two of them, I swore. Did he only do one?
Oh my God!
I thought he did two, but I guess he only did one.
You're gonna love this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, one of the ideas for the film came from Brandon Tartikoff, who suggested a crossover: Axel Foley and
John McClane.
Dundee.
No, God, it's even worse than I thought.
Because John McClane was owned by Fox, and Crocodile Dundee is owned by Paramount, and so is Axel Foley.
Hey, you get Freddy versus Jason. New Line and Dimension are going to team up. Or no, New Line and
that's why that movie took forever to get made, because they could never get the rights. And then magically, one fateful year, 2003, the dreams of millions were achieved.
It's out in the theater,
just like Rosa Parks in the bus. There's
Freddy versus Jason.
You know, you have those memories, like, you hear the older generation, like, I remember where I was for the moon landing and JFK's assassination when I found out. I remember where I was for 9/11.
Yeah.
A couple years later, Freddy vs. Jason.
Yes, exactly.
I remember the beginning of my 30th birthday. The rest is a blur. The rest of my life is a blur.
I don't remember shit. Yeah. About nothing.
Yeah, it's just a streaming, it's a unconscious stream put together that nobody's watching, even me, and nobody should watch it. And
well,
I could probably pull a couple other dates. Like, I remember where I saw Face Off in the theater, and that was another highlight of my life. And I guess I got married or had kids in the meantime, but whatever. It's Face Off and Freddy vs. Jason are really the two happiest moments of my life.
Yeah.
While you're reading that, if I could, I have
please.
seen this movie no less than 40 times, I'd say. I've seen this movie.
I would say, yeah.
It's one of those movies I rented when it came out, and then the next year, you know how it took a year to come out in VHS, or actually it was just VHS at that point. Right. That's all there was. And then it took another year to come out to cable sometimes. But this one I watched the shit out of. And I always knew the first one, kind of like Die Hard. It's very similar to Die Hard in my mind. Very different, like, presentations when it comes to themes in the movie and, like, tones. But I love Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, way more than I love Die Hard. But I have a deep, deep respect and still love the originals. So Die Hard and Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, I still fucking love and can watch them and appreciate them. And
right.
I'm not nearly as familiar with Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, as I am with Die Hard. I mentioned the story before where I rented from the library. I borrowed, I should say, Beverly Hills Cop on VHS, and it was the for blind people, and it was Axel Foley sneaking up to the tailpipe. He stuck a banana in there. They are not happy. It was one of those sort of things, and I'm like, what am I watching? I didn't know what it was. It's like, why is this happening? I've only seen the second one, though. I cannot tell you what the second one is about. I have no idea. I've seen it twice. Zero memories of it.
The second Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah. Cannot tell you anything. Oh, a single fact about it.
It's Tony Scott directed
really?
it.
Tony Scott directed it. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer production. Don Simpson. It's one of Chris Rock's first movies. He appears at the Playboy Mansion. Because
Great.
That's when Axel Foley drives the cement truck up and Chris Rock is the what do you call it? The valet at the Playboy Mansion. He goes, what the fuck is this? I get $100. I get $10 for cars, $20 for trucks. What the fuck is this? This is my truck. Here's $50 because he gives him $50 from when he got the money earlier. So he gives Chris Rock $50 to park his cement truck.
Is it worth watching?
Yeah, I would say two. So, well, here's the thing. Why I'm going to compare them to the other films.
Okay.
Beverly Hills Cop 1 is sort of a perfect mix. It's kind of dark, it's funny, and there's good action, and there's good story, it's good setup and payoff and all that. Beverly Hills Cop 2 tries to be more flashy. They try to up the action, up the stakes, where they shoot Ronnie Cox in the beginning of the movie, and that's why Axel goes back to Beverly Hills is to find out who shot Ronnie Cox, because he was the police chief of the first movie.
All three of them, his partner gets killed, and he goes to Beverly Hills to track it down.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Where in this one, the police chief gets murdered, and he has to go to Wally World to figure it out.
And again, this is why I tie it together with Die Hard, because all three, the first two movies, he's out of his element. He's out of his jurisdiction. He has to deal with a crime committed where he doesn't work. Die Hard, he's a New York cop. He's in L.A. And the second one, he's at Dulles Airport in Washington. And the third one is the only one where he's in where he's supposed to be. But it's more of a dealing with his life being a fucking total train wreck, which is why I love that movie. He's a piece of shit and doesn't hide it. But this is very similar because he just goes somewhere else to solve this crime. It's like a French Connection or something. Like there's a long history of cops out of their element and solving crime somewhere else for no reason. Mitchell. Fucking Mitchell was another one.
Mitchell.
Joe Don Baker's Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Well, he did that one where when he goes to Italy, he's shooting. That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna give you my final justice. I do that. Oh God, I love that. Oh,
he's eating the
MST. Soup. So funny. But apparently, though, if you look at the box office, it did 119 million worldwide.
Made for 40, you said?
It said $50 million budget, but Landis said it was actually more like 75 million. So they probably lied about the numbers. So it still made 119 million worldwide. It probably did okay, but not enough to warrant a sequel until 30 years later, because we're getting a Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Is it going to be Eddie? Because I know that they were working. They made a TV show about it. They made a pilot, and it never went anywhere.
Never aired because it fell apart last minute. I think Eddie Murphy is in it. It's going to be Eddie Murphy, which is, I think it might be good. It might be good because I think he's learned his lesson and he's not as depressed. Because according to Sarge, not only was Axel Foley, Eddie Murphy depressed in this period of his life, because this is when his career was kind of really in the shitter. Like he had he was really coming down from the highs of a career. Because after this, he had his string of bombs like Showtime, Metro,
5 years where Bowfinger came out. He got a lot of credit.
Yeah, Bowfinger kind of resuscitated him. But Pluto Nash and Showtime and all those movies came after. Norbit.
That's right.
But I would say 96 though he came back because he had Nutty Professor. That was a big hit.
And Metro.
Metro was a bomb. Night
Metro
Professor
was
was
a
a big
bomb.
hit. Metro was really bad. Michael
what's weird
Rappaport, I blame
is
him for that failure.
Nowadays, 2023, 2022, when I had cable, I don't have it anymore, but Metro was constantly on like Cinemax or Epix or one of those channels, and I'm like,
Yes.
why is this movie always on? Nobody
There's
remembers
always,
this. I
yeah.
rented it when it came out on VHS because I loved Eddie Murphy. But beyond that, I can't tell you what it's about. I remember he had a cool hair in it. I remember liking his hair in that because he's always
He had
like
the cornrows.
shaved.
Yeah.
He had the cornrows. I'm like, that's a badass look on him. But
Well, let's say
beyond that,
okay.
Michael Rappaport is the only thing I remember.
Let's look at Eddie Murphy's career in the 90s here. Hold on. Let's look this up. Let's see.
While you're doing that,
So
I'll say I love that you mentioned the second one's flashier, and they try to do the Bad Boys 2 thing, it sounds like. Where it's
Pretty
just a
much, yeah.
bigger version of the first one. I like the third one because they don't really give a shit about the rest of the storyline other than he knows Judge Reinhold.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing that matters. And Judge Reinhold is the best friend in the world because he will ruin his career and life to help Axel. And you get that immediately and you don't question it again in the movie. Because he literally almost dies in this movie. And he might because we don't see him alive at the end. Now that I think about it.
Beverly Hills Cop 5 or 4, his memorial statue is being erected.
He's been in a coma for 30 years.
Axel.
Hockwell,
you're funny. I'm in this too. You can't let me go.
The Annihilator 2000 is the newest weapon.
Yeah, Annihilator 2000 is I think one of the best jokes of the movie.
It is.
Still, okay. Here's
speaking of Nutty, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but speaking of Nutty Professor, you have him singing the Oklahoma, South Dakota, Illinois, and Indiana moon. He's singing.
He blows up the guy with the rocket, and he shoots the other guy with a machine gun, and he just throws the thing down. He doesn't want to use it anymore because he's like, oh, enough of this. But so apparently, according to Bronson Pinchot, or whatever his name is, John Landis had to fill in for Eddie Murphy in the scenes where they were doing the blocking. So Eddie Murphy wasn't there for him to do his jokes.
Oh, the blocking. Okay.
So because he was depressed, and Landis said, "No, take the day off. Go. You're done. We got your coverage. You don't need to be here. You can take off." So John Landis subbed for Eddie Murphy in the shots for Pinchot's point of view. So he was doing the jokes with him instead of Eddie Murphy, which is kind of sad, really. Because I mean, at this point in Eddie's career, I think 89 was the beginning of the end for his first run, like downhill time, the downhill slide. He did Harlem Nights 89, which is a giant fiasco. He directed that and starred in it, and that was a bad one.
Harlem Nights. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not
no, I'm thinking of Cotton Club.
Yeah, Cotton
Club. Cross wires.
Another 48 hours in 1990. That was not a hit. That was kind of a bomb.
48 hours is the reason I don't need to watch the first Beverly Hills Cop movie because 48 hours is much better.
They seem a little bit, yeah.
And I've already admitted I'm a huge Nick Nolte fan, more than I should be. Right. And I'd rather watch 48 hours than Beverly Hills Cop. It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But would you rather watch another 48 hours than Beverly Hills Cop?
No. I've only seen that movie once, maybe twice.
I think I've seen it twice.
Also, zero memories of that one.
Big fucker in a blue caddy. That movie is like every.
It's not good, but it's one of those movies where at the end of the movie everybody's a villain, so everybody's twisting on each other, so everybody's a double agent basically, and it's like what? Like all the cops end up being all the bad guys that get shot up. And it's just like, what is going on here? It's ridiculous. Then he was in Michael Jackson's Remember the Time. Remember that video?
No.
Remember the time when we fell in love. Oh, you remember the time. That one. And then 92 was Boomerang.
Boomerang, yeah.
92 Distinguished Gentleman, which I think Distinguished Gentleman is probably pretty good.
I like
that one.
Distinguished
Seems to be funny.
I like the Golden Child.
Then he did a bunch of music videos. So, and then 1994 is Beverly Hills Cop 3
and Golden Child.
He follows that up with Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh my God, that was from
89. So 89 to 95 is a bad run of movies for him.
Yeah, but he's making a ton of money doing this stuff that nobody gives a shit
about.
And
but
like,
he's not enjoying it.
Because I'm a huge Eddie Murphy fan. I love Vampire in Brooklyn. Wes Craven, Eddie Murphy. How could you go wrong with that? It's so bad. And stupid. That movie's bad and stupid. Way, this one is great and stupid.
I had the thought during Beverly Hills Cop 3, what if at the funeral for Ty, the
Todd
police chief gets killed in the beginning, Todd,
whose name changes.
The guy singing yeah, it does.
Did you notice? He goes, I gotta find Todd's killer, and it cuts to the widow, and she's like, I gotta find Dick Richard's killer or something like that. And I'm like, that's not his name is Todd. What?
She got the wrong script.
Yeah,
it was a different movie. Anyway, the guy singing Amazing Grace. Yes. It would have been hilarious if Eddie Murphy was Sexual Chocolate from Coming to America singing Amazing Grace at the funeral, and it's a connected universe.
Or the preacher from Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah, there you go.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy has a bad run. 89 to 95, pretty bad run for Eddie Murphy. Like, career could have been over. Nutty Professor, 1996, giant hit, big hit. Followed by Metro, 1997.
I don't think people
let's see how much money Metro lost.
I don't think people. It's going to be the opposite of Nutty Professor, because I don't think people nowadays realize how big of a hit Nutty Professor was. You don't see movies like that anymore, where the movies because Eddie Murphy was kind of fading, so they didn't really have to give him a whole lot, but he definitely got a lot. And the movie wasn't super expensive.
No, it did okay. It did
rushed.
Metro kind of flopped. So Metro was $55 million and made 32. Nutty Professor, according to IMDb, with box office,
30
did 40. Box office.
Can I guess?
Budget. Nutty Professor.
Can I guess?
Budget. Guess. Yeah,
I'm gonna guess 32 for budget, maybe 40, and then I'm gonna say gross worldwide 272.
Ooh, so you are almost right on with worldwide gross, 273.
Oh my God! Damn it.
The budget was $54 million.
Okay,
that's $54 million.
I was banking on the fact that Eddie Murphy was at a slump there, so they paid him less, but they probably didn't yet.
No, but he did Metro following that, and then Mulan. He dives into voice animation, which proves to be the best thing he ever did later with money. Correct. So Mulan, 1998. Dr. Dolittle, 1998. That was a big hit.
That was.
Dr. Dolittle, I remember, was a hit.
Theaters. Norm Macdonald and him. I was sold. I bought a ticket.
Immediately followed by Holy Man, which was not a hit.
Did not see. Oh, actually, I did see that when it came out. I've never seen Norbit.
Norbit's bad. Norbit is my God.
Yeah. It looks like Austin Powers. Sorry, what is Mike Myers like that other movie he did with the hockey? The Guru.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Love Guru.
Yeah,
it looks like
that.
Guru.
Yeah, it is. It's
just
that
a
bad
pathetic
level.
imitation of themselves.
It's bad.
You've yet to really say how you feel about Eddie Murphy as a whole. I'm just curious what you actually feel about him.
I love Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I grew up with Eddie Murphy, so he's a huge part of. Yeah, I mean, because 48 Hours and Trading Places, and I've never seen Coming to America though. That is the one movie I didn't see. I've seen Vampire in Brooklyn. Coming to America, I've never watched it all the way through. I don't know why. Maybe I did. I just don't remember. But when I was a kid,
I will never watch the sequel.
I'm sure it's funny. No, I have no interest in that.
It's too good of a movie to have a sequel way later. but it is great. James
Right.
Earl Jones and Arsenio Hall, and
Yeah.
I jerked off a
Right.
bunch of times because they have a bunch of ladies cleaning them when they're in Africa. There's a bunch of ladies cleaning them in the beginning. And I was like,
Really
"Fuck,"
naked?
because, yeah, they're topless.
This is John Landis likes to have topless women in his movies.
Yeah, John Landis and him worked together a few times, and this is their last time working together, if I'm not mistaken. And it's unfortunate.
3, yes.
Yes, because
Well,
this is their
I think
third movie
yeah.
together, right? Because Trading Places,
No.
they do
Oh
more.
no. Yeah, Trading Places, Coming to America, Beverly Cop 3. What was the other one? I think there's one more.
That's the three.
Or is
I
it
don't
just
think
the
there is another
3?
one.
Hold on.
I think it's just the three.
Coming
Anyway,
to America. Yeah, it's just
I
the
love
3,
all
I guess. You're right.
even his terrible movies, I love, because I love watching. He is a comedic Wesley Snipes to me, and I love both those guys. We talked about Money Train
Yes.
and other Wesley Snipes. What was the other one? Drop Zone, Drop Zone is better than this, but I would rather watch this than Drop Zone.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Life. Did you ever see Life?
Oh my God,
The
Life is in my top 100.
Eddie Murphy. Life is pretty good. Life's a good movie.
Life is in my top 100 movies. Him, Martin Lawrence. It's an amazing. It's like a comedic Shawshank, and it gets sad.
So
and it's funny.
99
99
was a good year. 99 was a good year for Murphy.
and Norbit.
No,
Yeah.
Life and
and
Bowfinger was 99.
Bowfinger. Yeah, I love Bowfinger.
Yeah,
I've only seen it a couple times, but
Bowfinger's great. Bowfinger's really fun. It's really good. And after Bowfinger, Nutty Professor 2, terrible movie, but it was a big hit. Made a lot of money.
made a ton.
In fact, let's play that game again.
Crazy amount. Okay,
What do you think the budget was? Nutty Professor 2,
65, and gross 375.
Oh, way off. Budget,
Okay.
84 million.
I'm not too off on the budget.
Worldwide gross was 166 million.
Really? It made less than the first one?
It made less than the first one, and made most of its money in America. The international audience
made most of its money on rentals and home video purchases.
Well, I think later home video, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that put him in the black there.
Yeah, and then Shrek was 2001. Shrek was a big one for him, but Dr. Dolittle 2 came out same year, 2001. $70 million budget, 176 worldwide gross, which isn't good, but it's not
oh my God,
terrible.
Dick. I just remembered that the two guys I just mentioned are in the My Name is Dolomite movie.
Yes, Wesley
and Eddie
Murphy. Yeah, Dolomite's a great movie. That one's fantastic.
I've yet to see it.
That one,
I love Rudy Ray Moore. So, ironically,
oh no, that might be one of the best Eddie Murphy movies ever. Was that movie?
Yeah, I need to watch it. I think my favorite Eddie Murphy movie is definitely Life. Life is fucking incredible.
Life is very good. It's underrated. Like, not a lot of people talk about Life. That one's kind of.
They are starting to. I've noticed, like, in the comedy groups I'm in, people are talking about Life now.
Really?
They can't get right. That shit's fucking hilarious. It's like,
oh. Now he had a lot. So 2001, not a bad year for him, but 2002.
This is turning into one of Eddie Murphy cast, not so much Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just putting.
I'm not
Eddie
complaining.
Murphy,
just saying.
His poor career in 2002, probably the worst it ever was, because this is the 3 back-to-back movies in 2002.
This is the Pluto Nash year.
Yes. So let's play the game. Showtime. What was the budget? What was the gross? How much money did it make?
Showtime was him and De Niro. I'm gonna guess that was.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 85 on that one, and I'm gonna guess
correct.
Gross. Am I exactly right?
Yeah, 85 million.
Damn right. I'm gonna guess gross 35.
77.
Okay, maybe more than I thought. Double.
Still more than I thought, but still was the bomb. It's still considered a bomb. Didn't even break even.
Definitely.
Now
Pluto
Nash.
Budget
It's
110, gross 39.
Oh.
It's worse. It sounds like it's worse than my guess.
This is bad. Budget $100 million.
Oh, I was off by 10.
Oh, wow.
Not bad. 19?
Worldwide gross $7 million.
Oh my dear God.
Oh,
That should be number
that's
one
bad.
on biggest tanks. Like Cutthroat Island has nothing on that.
That's one of the biggest bombs ever.
You know what's funny?
Nash.
When you watch the movie, you're like, this is stupid. I'm not sitting there going, this is the worst piece of shit ever. I'm like, this is like a bad version of what's the Demolition Man and Judge. What's the other one? Judge Dredd.
Oh,
it just feels like a
Dredd,
shittier version of those movies, like a bad attempt at sci-fi, but it's not like offensive. And Randy Quaid plays a robot for some reason, and it's like this is ignore. Like, who cares? Why did it tank so bad is beyond me. It's bad, but did you see it?
I think I snuck into it and watched pieces of it because I used to work in a theater when that movie came out, so I was able to watch some of it, and it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad movie.
No, but it's
I think Joey Pants is in it.
No, is he?
I'm pretty sure I think Joey Pants is in it. Hold on. I Spy was the last movie, 2002. It was a $70 million budget. Only made $51 million.
Is that the Owen Wilson? Him and Owen Wilson?
Yes, it's Owen Wilson's in it.
I didn't see that. Hey! No, I didn't see that.
I committed suicide. I tried to kill myself after that movie because I hated myself.
And just like I Spy, it failed. No, I didn't see that. No.
Daddy Daycare was a big hit for him.
It was.
That was pretty decent size. $60 million budget, $164 million. He did two of those. The Haunted Mansion, I think that was a big bomb.
It was, but he got paid a pretty penny on that one. Look into his salary.
I think so, yeah.
Look into his salary for Haunted Mansion, because that was just a thank you for giving me a daddy daycare.
Well, it's okay. $90 million budget for Haunted Mansion. Worldwide gross was 182.
No, but they wanted that to be the next big Disney. We're going to reimagine the Haunted Mansion here at Disney, and it did not. That.
And guess what? They're doing it again.
Yeah, I am offended that they got rid of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at Disneyland.
It's at Disney World still. I just was there. Still there. Okay. So you can't buy anything Twilight Zone related. They have no Twilight Zone toys there. Okay. Yeah. Say what you will about Norbit. Wow.
No, it made a ton in rentals. Norbit.
Well, here's the thing. It was a $60 million budget for Norbit.
Really?
Worldwide gross. Worldwide gross.
210.
No, 159.
But okay, that makes sense.
160 million.
But I would think with rentals, we're looking at 210, 230.
Oh, sure, yeah, rentals.
Because I remember being in the video stores when that was coming out, and like Blockbuster and Family Video, and they were like shelves of Norbit, and they were all gone all the time. And I'm like, this movie's fucking crushing it on home video, because nobody wanted to go to the theater to say one ticket for Norbit, please. So
it was just your name.
Him and Dana Carvey were in a competition. Dana Carvey, and Mike Myers were in a competition to make them worst movie of that period. Because you got what's Dana Carvey's Turtle movie? Master of Disguise.
Master of Disguise. Yeah, one of the worst movies ever.
You got The Love Guru, and then you have Norbit, and it's like, who can make the worst movie? Good, have fun, guys. You three SNL members.
Pluto Nash might be worse than Norbit.
I don't mind Pluto Nash. It's bad, but it doesn't deserve the hate it got. It's just bad. It's not funny, and that's it. It's like John Carter of Mars. When you watch that movie, you're like, this doesn't deserve all the hate it got. It's just not a good movie. That's it. End of story, really.
It's Taylor Kitsch's fault because he's just not a leading man.
But no, it's Disney's
shouldn't
fault
be.
for banking this much money into this project.
Well,
when it clearly
sure,
should
yeah.
be.
Yeah,
You're like,
well, they always want to make that superstar. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you're watching it and you're like, it's not terrible. It's just, it's not for anyone. Like, nobody can
Right.
really enjoy this. It's just, but it's like, it's fine for what it is. It's just a bad
Yeah.
movie. Like Pluto Nash,
Yeah,
I feel
for
the
what
same
it
way.
is.
It's like, it's a bad attempt at a sci-fi movie, but that's as offensive
Right.
as it gets. Norbit just looks desperate. That's why I hate that movie worse than why I've never seen it. It looks desperate. It looks like he's doing the Mike Myers, Austin Powers thing. Like, how many characters can I play? I'm going to do Nutty Professor plus Austin Powers. And this looks desperate, so I never saw it. Just me personally. But what else we got after that? What else has he made since then that's actually made money?
He just, honestly, a lot of Shrek stuff. He's stuck in the Shrek world for a while. He got a lot of bombs after that. Meet Dave was a big bomb. Imagine that, another big bomb. 1,000 Words, another big bomb.
Pause. Those three movies you just mentioned, they're all the same to me. What is Meet Dave? Is that the one where they go in his head?
Yep. He's a big robot, and himself is the captain of himself as a robot. It's weird.
It sounds like a Pixar movie, like Inside Out sort of thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same idea. I think it's the same exact concept.
Except Inside Out is a fucking incredible movie.
Yeah, this one is shit.
Okay. So what was the other one you said? The first one.
In this period, I turn off the IMDb.
I can look it up right now.
Yeah, okay. It won't be because it's Eddie Murphy. Because he's doing 1,000 Words.
Oh, yeah, 1,000 Words. Okay, that was the third one you mentioned. Tower Heist. Imagine that was the first. Was another one you mentioned. Dreamgirls, he's good in.
Yeah,
that was before all.
Yeah, but he's a co-star. It doesn't. Yeah,
he is. But okay, Meet Dave. That's the one inside his brain. Imagine that. No fucking idea what that's about. He started doing movies for his kids, which is fine. People do that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, but he didn't succeed at it.
No, he did. That one movie he did, Daddy Daycare, made him enough money that it didn't matter how many failures he had after that.
Oh, sure. I don't doubt it. I mean, people still hire him. He's got tons of credits on here. So he never stopped working. It's just they weren't as high profile
because he was, I think.
Question is,
trying to figure out
what the fuck is Imagine That? 2009.
It's a Disney movie.
A financial exec. No, it's Paramount. Who can't stop his career down spiral, is invited to his daughter's imaginary world where solutions to his problems await. So it's the opposite of Meet Dave, where he goes into his daughter's mind. There's a Rick and Morty episode about that. Okay, so Tower Heist, never saw it. Looked okay. I will never watch it. 1,000 Words is the one that caught my attention because I believe it was he can only say so many words and he dies. After stretching the truth on a deal with a spiritual guru, literary agent Jack McCall finds a Bodhi tree on his property. Its appearance holds a valuable lesson on the consequences of every word he speaks. I think I remember the trailer saying he can only say 1,000 words, and if he says them, he dies or something like that.
Right.
Cliff Curtis is in it, of course. He's the guru. In 2013, TV movie Axel Foley. Wow. Never got released. Aaron Foley is played by Brandon T. Jackson, so it was like the son of Mask sort of thing going on there. Mr. Church was his serious movie. Dolomite Is My Name got him a lot of cred back. Coming to America was his nostalgia movie. You People was his most recent movie.
And that was no one like that one.
He's working on Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley. And him and Kevin Bacon and George Levitt and Judge Reinhold. Paul Reiser's back. Bronson Pinochet's back. God damn, I'll watch this movie in the theater. What do you say? If this actually comes out, let's go see it in the theater.
Yeah, no, for sure I would. Yeah.
We need to talk about that movie during the screening.
Is that what's going to happen?
No, probably will never come out. They tried to do this show like 4 times. Only one time it made it to pilot, and that was in 2013. So let's talk about the actual movie. Now that we have Eddie Murphy out of the way.
Yes.
We don't need to go
Eddie
too long
Murphy.
because it's a real simple story, and it flies by the way. It's like an hour 40.
Yeah,
and
there's
it
not much
flies
going
by.
on. Do you think this
It really
was
is.
another script that you turned it into a Beverly Hills Cop movie?
I can definitely see that. Look at Die Hard. I was compared to Die Hard.
Yeah.
Die Hard was never
Yeah.
written for John McClane until you get to the 4th and 5th movie. But they had a script. It looks
Right.
good. We can't sell this. Let's throw John McClane in there, sort of thing. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that going that way. But they're in Detroit. They're gonna. Axel's in charge of a patrol here, and he's gonna charge into a chop shop. And it ends up being that there's like a shipment for illegal notes that were taken from the government, and they're going to print money with it. And what's his name? What's that guy's fucking name? Who's the head of security at Wally World? Shoot them all.
Wayland.
And kills his
Wayland and kills
Todd /
his
Richard
captain.
or whatever. Yeah, he's the captain.
And it has the strangest moment of 2 men singing a Diana Ross Supreme song.
Does
like
the guy from
it's like a weird
guy from Sopranos?
Comedic. Was it that same guy from Sopranos? Yeah,
the chunky dude.
Was that the FBI agent? That's why he looked familiar. Yeah,
yeah. He's the guy who talks. He's the guy that talks to him from Delaware. I think he's located. He's talking to Big Pussy.
Yeah, he's talking to Big Pussy. Yeah.
He's the guy.
Let's go, puss. I can't accept gifts. I can't accept gifts, pussy.
He's got that lisp.
Yeah.
Well, do what you need to do with Tony, and you need to keep that fucking wire on you. That's for sure. Yeah, that's that guy.
Such a bizarre moment where, I guess, because Landis talks about how Eddie Murphy didn't want to be comedic in this movie. They had that supreme
that weird dance number at the beginning. He's like, "What is this?" And then they get brutally murdered. Yeah,
that's the part
and then
of
they get
movie.
Brutally murdered.
And that's what makes it worse for me.
Sick,
because it's you have the seriousness with Axel and his boss going like, we don't need to call on SWAT, spraying bullets everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's keep it straight. It's a bunch of mechanics. They don't have guns. Cut to 2 mechanics doing Diana Ross like 3/4 of the song, and they're doing.
Yeah,
you got one guy
weird.
like doing the Running Man thing, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And, stop. And then it's interrupted by what is that guy's fucking name? I cannot find him here. I looked up the first one.
I don't know his real name. I don't remember. He's a character actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He is, but why am I blanking?
He's dead.
No, he's not. His name is. Holy shit! Why is this so hard to find? It's all out of order here on IMDb. Hold on. Anyway, he shows up and there's like a deal there with the money, and then he's like, "Yeah, give him the money." And you had the security guards who were there the whole time. Who I really love that first guy. And you just they kill everyone. They go out of their way to kill everyone at that shop.
Right.
But then Axel goes up, and you have like the comedy of errors thing where the partners show up and they run in there and they trip over the dead body and they're getting shot at, and it's like that.
Yeah, that was so weird.
That comedy does not play there. They needed to do that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to
say the one thing we're forgetting is.
I'm done. Go.
Off on this.
We are.
No, I think our timing was off because of the lag.
One thing I noticed though, and watching this movie again, Axel hides behind a wooden bench to stop bullets.
He does.
That doesn't work that way. He does that multiple times in this movie. He hides behind things which would be blown away by a bullet, and they're also like he gets. It's bad. It's just so bad.
They're also ducking behind a car with their heads on the window.
Yeah.
And we're like,
yeah.
And you're like, dude, your fucking head is exposed.
Bullets.
Yeah, bullets go through cars. Like that's how that works. It doesn't. It's not like
Yeah.
it stops. It goes through it completely. Maybe it'll stop in the engine block, but I don't think so. Those were
Well,
big
the only
guns
guys
with big calibers.
and the only guys that use the engine block to stop it, it definitely an engine block would stop a bullet 100%. But the only guys that are smart enough are those two idiots who arrive late and throw themselves over the hood, Starsky and Hutch style, for no reason, even though it's quicker to just go around the front of the car. And luckily, the special effects provide a little time for that guy to get over the hood. If you watch that scene again, I've seen this movie 10,000 times. By the way, so you see, like he starts jumping over, and then it's like all around him, and it's like, come on, you're dead. But you only hide behind the door so that they don't see your head and aim at it. It won't stop the random gunfire from going through the doors and shooting you. Like that's a momentary, and they're like hiding out there, like having a conversation. Like, what do we do? Oh, let's go in there in a minute and I'll see how they're doing. It's like gunshots going off, and it's like, I get the suspension of disbelief, but come on. But it's a comedy movie. It doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean,
what I was trying to get to earlier.
It's got those.
Sorry, we're talking over, but let me just go. What I was saying was I wanted to, as soon as we end that Diana Ross in the Supreme song, to just be serious for the rest of that scene. For just the rest of that scene only. But they have those stupid jokes where they fall over the bodies, and there's just in the car crash and falls off like the Blues Brothers, the end of Blues Brothers. And I wish they played the rest of at least that sequence until he gets to Beverly Hills. I wish they played that serious. Would have added some weight and some gravity to it, but that's my only real complaint with the opening of the movie.
Cap. I'd agree.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. This movie moves pretty quickly because it's only about an hour and 38 minutes. It's not that long, and it ends up being about counterfeiting. Like that's why I think this is like 3 scripts in one, because that's an odd choice for Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop 3 counterfeiters. Oh, like that's what we're dealing with in an amusement park. This is the only action movie to ever take place at an amusement park and utilize the amusement park attractions, which is really bizarre and funny because it's like a time capsule, because those rides are all gone now. They don't exist anymore. In fact, that whole park is closing down this year. They're going to tear it all down.
Is that California Adventure?
It's Santa Clara. It's Paramount's Great America in Santa Clara. Okay. And so they're just closed down this past year because it's been doing piss poor for years, and now it's finally done. I think they're going to tear it all down.
Go there and recreate some scenes.
Well, yeah. Hey!
Wally, happiness.
Did he do the
Turn
shovel?
off that fucking song.
Did he do the shovel?
Hector Ellis. Hector's great in this movie.
Yeah, he's good.
Turn off that fucking song.
He's the one guy you think helps Axel at the end. He saves the day.
He does.
Kind of. Well, not really, because Axel kills the guy. But
Axel shoots him.
He's just there.
He shoots Peter
Weller. Not Peter Weller. Not the guy that was thinner, but someone in between.
I've always considered him not Peter Weller, and that's it. I don't know his name. I'm sure he has one. And the word "not" is not in it, but I will never know.
Yeah.
He just looks like Peter Weller, but not him.
Yeah.
He does get shot up like the opening RoboCop, though.
Yes.
Okay. Since we're so delayed and we're having some issues not talking over each other, let's just get through some of the things we love about the movie. We won't go into the deep dive in the plot. I would recommend this movie. Check this movie out now that we're 49 minutes into this podcast, but it's not a great movie. If you're going into this going, I love the first one, the coffee grounds, they had the drugs in it, blah, blah, blah. No, you're not going to be going, this is It is a fun movie, and that is it. That's it, my friends.
Yeah.
All you're gonna get,
Well, and
it's silliness at a park, and that the park is what makes this movie, if you ask me. That's what he's going behind the scenes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that whole sequence where he saves those kids that would have been dead 20 minutes into that rescue attempt. It takes forever to get there. They would have been dead within 20 seconds of that malfunction. It was hilarious. And he's just hanging in.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he gets them to get on the rope with him and go all the way down. He's got enough rope magically on that ride. There's elven rope in the canopy above the ride, and he's able to come down and save these two kids. It's just so goofy. And he had to bump George Lucas for it.
To be fair, when he lands, the children turn into little Muppets.
Yeah, it's true.
I've seen this movie enough where every time I spot the clearly like cotton
hilarious.
kids. I want to pull that up.
That's hilarious.
Tell me what
it looks like.
Tell me something else about the movie that you loved or didn't love, and I'll pull up the movie in the meantime.
Oh no, it's a weird hodgepodge of like action and comedy, and it's just like there's like this Uncle Dave. Like he's obsessed with Uncle Dave and his wacky.
Why is he obsessed with Uncle Dave?
World. It comes out of nowhere. It has no. I mean, it's like what? Who's Uncle Dave? Like where'd that come from? He's like Walt Disney, obviously. And
yeah. He's got the statue at the park. It's comparable of. It's Walt Disney, but he's living.
Yeah. But, right. He survives though. And
it seems like he's never heard of Wally World until he gets there, and then he's just obsessed with Uncle Dave. That is definitely something I notice every time I watch it.
Oh, I wouldn't be. Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's the choice.
that's definitely Eddie's choice.
An actor's choice. But it's just so funny though. It's such a time capsule of that era because you get to see all the rides from Universal Studios Hollywood. The earthquake ride with the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica, which is so stupid.
Oh, the alien invasion.
Oh, and Axel hides behind alien attack or alien invasion. Axel hides behind these plastic figures as he gets shot with machine gun bullets, and then comes out of it and shoots him and kills the guy. It is literally the most inept security force ever because they can't shoot. They can't shoot Axel. The only guy that manages to shoot him in the leg is the main bad guy, and it's at the end of the movie. And he still misses. He's literally like this close. They're this close to each other, and Axel blows him away with a machine gun, and he manages to get him in the leg. The bad guy shoots Axel in the leg, and that's it.
I love it. He goes,
it's so goofy.
Machine gun, he goes, ah!
Yeah.
It's one of those movies I can play in my head. I've seen so many times. Okay, here's my... we've already established this character's name is Todd. He said his name 6 times so far through the movie. Here's the widow.
Try again.
There you go. Okay. He's going to tell him his real last lines, which I believe, if I can state correctly, is, "Are you on a coffee break, Axel? Go get that son of a bitch."
Yeah.
I believe I have that exactly right. Because I've seen this a lot. And I will stand by this fucking movie. There's a reason I added it to the HID list.
Yes.
I love this fucking movie. I give this, if I could be honest, I'll give it a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of fairness because it is not a great movie, but I love it.
Right, yeah.
But let's hear the widow of Todd describe when Eddie Murphy tells her the truth about his last words.
Actually, his last words were, "Axel, are you on a coffee break? Go and get that son of a bitch." Those words. Nice words.
That sounds like my Douglas.
Who the fuck is Douglas?
That's his first name.
Is his name Douglas Todd? Todd Douglas?
It might be. I think did they say Captain Douglas Todd?
I'd have to rewind, and you could be right, and maybe that's something I've never noticed because I'm more paying attention to. No, they don't play anything for the intro. It just cuts to Amazing Grace.
Huh. Right? Yeah, exactly. That's weird.
So it could. Hold on. Okay, here's the beginning of the funeral. I'll play the audio. No, just cuts to Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
It's
It-
always
it's a
bothered me
bro-
that she says that. And I'm like, who the fuck is Douglas? Your husband's name is Todd. It could be Detective Todd, like you said, but for the life of me, it's been 29 years, 39 years. Holy shit! How long ago was 1994? 04,
30 years.
14, okay, 29 years.
29 years, yeah.
I've been watching this movie like once every 2.5 years, I'd say, at an average.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to figure out what the fuck she's talking about. But I always love that he lies. He tries to comfort her. His last words were about you and how much he
Right,
loves
yeah.
you. That does not sound like my husband.
That doesn't sound like my Douglas.
Actually, his last word. Go get that son of a bitch. That sounds like my Douglas. Who the fuck is Douglas?
Yeah.
Ah,
What you talking about, bitch?
who? Yeah, it's. I love the setting of the movie because if it wasn't at Wally World and all the like him running behind the scenes of the theme park and all of those scenes, those really make up the nuts and bolts of the movie for me. When he keeps going in there, he has to do one scene where he does the okie dokie elephant. Those little chunky kids do the okie dokie shuffle.
Oh,
And he has to fake his way in there, and he throws it one kid in the fountain.
yeah.
I love those scenes. It's fun, it's cruel, and it's just I love watching it. And he goes in there and he's like he picks up on a cue from some other character dressed as the okie dokie elephant. And he's like, "Hey Todd, say hello to your wife Martha," or whatever the names are. And he does the exact same thing that when he runs in the next one, and he's like, "Oh, I will definitely," and it plays perfectly. It's a nice setup.
Yeah. Well, it was directed by Landis, so I think he had a good idea of setup and payoff.
Yeah,
Because they set up the Surge, the Annihilator 2000. It's all set up in such a kind of a funny way, and he has he can't get a weapon. The Annihilator 2000 with a CD player and a microwave, an actual microwave oven for the men on the go.
a compact disc player. The woman in a string bikini because it's 1994.
Yeah, oh, that was pretty good.
But he throws the thing over the fence and then goes in there unarmed so that he can save the one girl who's
Right. Yeah.
fine as hell. I'll say that.
She is. Oh, she's a beautiful woman. I can't remember who that is off the top of my head.
I don't know her name. Beautiful as hell. Had a crush on her since 1994. Couldn't tell you her name.
No, I couldn't either.
Yeah.
I think it's not Hall.
It's not even listed here. Let's find out.
It has to be out there.
What's her name? I don't even know her name.
I don't even remember her name from the movie.
Hattie Winston,
I
Mrs.
could
Todd.
stored...
No, that's the one lady
No.
we just watched. Hector Elizondo's great in this movie. Judge Reinhold. Janice? Teresa Randall? That's her. Janice,
What?
Teresa Randall. She's in Bad Boys. She plays Marcus's sister, or wife.
That's
Or
right.
Wife. Sorry.
Yeah.
Spawn, Malcolm X, Bad Boys 2. Yeah, I know. That's mostly where I know her from is that movie because I've seen that movie more than Beverly Hills Cop 3. But I think that's an actually great movie. This is not a great movie that needs to be watched more, which is why we're talking about it here on Hollywood is Dead.
Yeah. Well, 'cause I think everyone's forgotten about it, and they say, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and the show." That pilot that no one ever watched. They seem to forget 3 altogether.
3 is just a fun, stupid movie, and if you let go of the fact that it's not supposed to be taken seriously, watch it for what it is. It's a violent version of like a European Vacation. That's more what I
it's
consider.
pretty violent. Yeah, it's pretty.
It is
violent.
violent as shit.
Yeah.
When he kills the bad guy, and especially the FBI guy, the internal affairs guy blows like Peter Weller. It's like the opening of RoboCop gets blown to pieces. One of the bullets goes through and hits Hector Elizondo in the shoulder.
Yeah.
But then when Judge Reinhold shows up at the park, and they keep going back and forth, like both him and Hector Elizondo are like, you hear like in the background, we're getting reports of a 1055 at a Wonder World. and it's like, Axel.
Yeah.
And they freak out and they go there because they trust him that he's doing the right thing, even though honestly they should stop trusting him because all they've done is risk their own careers for him. But they go there and Judge Reinhold gets blown away by some guy with a machine gun and shoots him against the wall, and he's does a little rollover and shoots him, but he shows up later and he's like his arms down and he's all, and they're laughing at him. If you're a fan of action movies and you like silly action and the consequences don't necessarily mean it is a little cartoony. I'll say that. It's cartoony violence, but it is good spirited. It's not cartoony like in the way that like all these people get crushed by stuff. The one guy gets crushed in the alien invasion ride. It's not overly violent. It's not overly offensive. It's just a fun movie that doesn't take itself seriously. I couldn't tell you what the lesson of the movie is. There's nothing really to learn here. It's just turn your mind off, watch the movie, and move on with your day. That's it. With that being said, I'm picking Near Dark for our next episode. It's a movie that you're falling asleep. It's a movie that you sent me on Blu-ray. We will watch that one together. This will not be a live one, I don't think. I don't really have plans for this yet. I see your mouth moving. I hear nothing. Nothing coming through.
I had a yard sale this morning at 5:00, so I'm tired.
That's all right. No
And
problem.
I have another one tomorrow. $500 day. Woo!
Woo! Dick, just for my purposes, we're doing Near Dark next week. You'll be here in person. We're going to see each other and do episodes in person.
Yes.
What do you want to do the week after that, though?
I don't know yet.
Do you want me to pull up the list so you can pick one just for my purposes of creating stuff?
Yeah, let's put the list. What do we got? What's on our list?
I'll read in reverse order because I got as far as BEV on the list, and you picked one.
Beverly Scout.
Here we go. For the new one, Zodiac, Where Dreams May Come, Way of the Gun, War of the Roses, True Romance, Throw Mama from the Train, The Third Man, Thinner, Stir of Echoes, Sphere, The Siege, Serial Mom, Scream, Payback, Out of Sight, Once Upon a Time in the West, New York, New York, Natural Born Killers, Narc, Moon, Maverick, Last Action Hero, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Ghost in the Machine, Frailty, Fifth Element, Double Indemnity and Sunset Boulevard, Dirty Work, Death Becomes Her, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Clue, Cable Guy, The Burbs, Arrival, the 96 one.
Yeah.
Earheads, 30 Days a Night, 25th Hour, and 12 Monkeys. I also added 48 Hours to that list.
I was thinking maybe
or something you want to add.
Let's go with the Z. Zodiac.
Zodiac.
Let's go at the end of the list. Zodiac. That's a good watch.
Well,
I just bought that on Blu-ray. So
thank you for letting me read the full list of 50 movies before you chose the first one I read.
Exactly.
Okay.
I wanted to hear all of them, and Zodiac was the only one I remembered.
Week after that, this is the last week of March, we'll do M. Night movies.
Yeah, that'd be good. Ooh, I'm not looking forward to talking about half of those movies.
I've been watching them. I've been kind of going back and forth between M. Night and Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm catching up on both right now. I have 4 more M. Night movies to rewatch. I don't know if I'll watch them again because, I don't need to watch After Earth again. Do I need really? What am I going to get out of the second time?
That's
but
I would watch
Coen Brothers. I'm more concerned with.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I like Coen. I would have more enjoyment watching the Coen Brother movies more than I would M. Night Shyamalan.
But but we can do M. Night first and then get to because I
Right.
want to rewatch the Coen Brothers first. M.
Yeah.
Night, I don't need to rewatch them all because they're so simple. But
Yeah, it's
I will
true.
say this: the Coen Brothers movies I didn't like that much the first time. Second time, I'm seeing some benefits
Oh, sure, yeah.
because I watched Burn After Reading, and I'm like, I like this a lot more. I don't love it, but I'm appreciating a lot of little subtle things I didn't catch up because I was fucking 22 or 25, however the fuck old I was when that movie came out, and appreciating it more.
Yeah.
I started watching The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
It's good. I liked it. It's
No.
different. You hate
What
it?
the fuck is happening? I've only watched the first story where
Yeah. That's all it is. It's segments. That's all
I
it
know,
is.
but
It's
I'm
just-
like, what the fuck is happening? He's like singing and he's an angel flying up to heaven. I'm like, fucking stop it, Coen Brothers. Write
Well,
a
that's the-
goddamn story instead of just interesting characters.
Well, that's the thing. I think the rest of them get a little bit better than that one. That one's more of the goofy beginning
gotta be,
stand
right?
up. That's right. How
Yeah.
you doing? That's I got shot in the head. I didn't
I
live.
should have seen that coming. But
That's just
it fades away and you see the book opening for chapter 2 and it cuts up on or fades up on James Franco's face and I go, nope, turn it off.
right.
Just
Yeah.
went to sleep. Anyway, those are the plans for the future.
Sounds good.
7. I give this movie a 7.
I would agree. I'd say I'll go more. I'm gonna go more on the lower end, make it a 6
Okay.
because I do enjoy it. 7 is more or less respectable, successful. 6 is like fun, schlocky, but not offensive.
See, I agree with exactly what you just said, but I
Yeah.
do think I respect this movie because I personally love it. Like I think it's I agree with everything you just said about schlocky and offensive, but then I go, I've seen this movie 30 to 40 plus, maybe even plus times, and I never grow tired of it. I love the JJJJC. What's that? I
Right.
laugh every fucking time. It never gets old, and I can watch this movie. I honestly could watch this movie like once a month to be fine.
Yeah.
I'll catch something new in the background.
I don't doubt that. Yeah, I think there's layers.
It's one of those
to it
movies.
for that. Yeah. Yeah, just the cameos. There's a bunch of
It might
cameos
be
you gotta
my-
find.
It might be my second favorite John Landis movie after An American Werewolf. It really might be.
Wow. Wow.
It's sad to say, but it honestly might be.
Well, yeah, that's crazy.
No, it's true. I think it is.
That's
I'll say that-
hilarious.
I'll say
That's
that on
pretty
record.
funny. Well, Twilight Zone.
Until
What about
next time. Oh, sorry.
That's
People-
all. I'm
people
out. I'm
died.
done.
People died for that.
We
Until
don't-
next time. In the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Dick Ticket. Rest in peace, Vic Morrow.
See you later, Vic Morrow, and all the people from Near Dark. That'll be our next episode.
That's
Bye
right.
bye. I'm looking forward to watching Near Dark together
Yeah, that'll be fun. I like to see your reaction to that one.
because I've been waiting my entire life to watch that movie. And
Yeah,
you
there's
send it
some-
to me on Blu-ray. I'm like, now's
Yeah,
the time.
it's
I
an
need to do this.
interesting, slow burn kind of movie. It's good. There's some good stuff in there.
Well, it's got one of my favorite actors, so can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Jeanette Goldstein. My favorite actor of all time.
Who?
What? Who? She got big.
She's in the
tits.
background of that scene where they're at the drive-in.
She
the
gets
bar.
blown up. She gets blown up real good in Lethal Weapon 2 at the diving board.
Fucking big old titties.
She's got some big titties.
And like, there's a guy named like Bill Paxton or whatever the fuck in the background. Doesn't fucking
Whatever.
matter. Point is though,
He's
Catherine
alright.
Bigelow really focused on her titties. Just really
I like
show those
Catherine
fuckers
Bigelow.
bouncing around.
Catherine Bigelow is a sexy
Zodiac.
older lady. Zodiac. That's right, because John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah.
I'm not the Zodiac, and if I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
He did make my number one for
want us-
character actors. He was my
I
number
know.
one.
I want us to live in a world where people stop referring to cops as pigs.
That's the scene where he's at work and they're interviewing
Yeah.
him. And he says that at the very end of an awkward
Those
interview.
those knives were bloody because I killed chicken for dinner. What? We didn't
But-
mention that.
When he says the the pigs line, he could have just went back to work. He stops and goes,
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to live in a
Yeah.
world where pigs, cops are not referred to as pigs. And he invites like more scrutiny on this person. You could just went back to work and
they're all
not have
looking
to
at
deal
him.
with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You've already excused yourself because your boss is calling you in, or the horn. I forget which one it was, but he could have already walked away. Oh.
That's nuts. Yeah.
Can we just give John Carroll Lynch all the awards from now on?
I wish he needs to get something. I wonder if he even has an Emmy. I wonder if he even has an award for acting anywhere.
I think we know the answer to that.
Yeah, it's probably
Oh,
zero, nothing.
Oh, I'll still do this live because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I did apologize to my wife because we're watching all the Coen Brothers movies I deemed not good enough to watch 2 times. So in the past 3 days, we watched Burn After Reading.
Okay.
And then we watched Hail Caesar, which I actually enjoy, but I don't need to watch it again. There's not much going on. And I'm like, and then we started Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and I'm like, I just want to say, forewarned, there's a reason I haven't watched this yet. And then it's just nonsense from there. And it's fun. Like, I like it, but she's not going to be on board for that. And I'm like, today I told her, just so you know, these movies are like just about characters and there's almost no storyline. It's just about wacky characters in this really mundane situation. Like, their best movies are really, really well written, and they're tight and they're concise, but we're not going to watch those because I've seen them enough that I don't need to rewatch them.
Right.
Yeah. I feel bad because I'm like, she's watching Hail Caesar and she's like, she's laughing and she's like, what is this movie about? I'm like, oh no, nothing. No idea. Especially Burn After Reading. Oh, it's about nothing. It's about these wacky characters in this strange situation. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's their MO.
We're not going to be watching
thrown
Fargo.
into.
Well, no, but Fargo and Big Lebowski are very tight scripts that just happen to have wacky characters. Now it's just, at a certain point, it became wacky characters, and kind of the story came second, it seems.
Right.
I don't know, just kind of a falling off of a cliff at some point. And I feel bad because that's all she knows about the Coen Brothers now at this point.
Well, I mean, for a first timer to watch the Coen Brothers, you have to show her Barton Fink. That'll really.
Well, that's on my list.
Yeah. No. Oh, Barton Fink is not
head in a box.
Just, oh my god, it's so boring.
No, but
just John Goodman's so good.
She loves John Goodman. She likes John Goodman, but she'll appreciate that movie, I think, more.
There's that scene where John Goodman's talking about murder or something. He freezes. He goes, oh, anyway. It's just like, jumps out. Yeah, I'm fine. And he's a psychopath. Like, that's pretty funny.
Very much just sitting in a hotel room.
Yeah, it's about a writer and writing the script, and that's all it is. It's pretty. That's what I should probably, rewatch sooner.
You should rewatch that because I am too. I've only seen that movie twice, and I honestly, other than Head in a Box and John Goodman being in the room with him and being a psycho, that's really about all the memories I have of that movie. I've been meaning to rewatch it for like a decade now.
Wow.
Now I have an excuse.
Yeah, there you go. We can do it. We can make you better.
But do you need to rewatch any M. Night movies?
I just did a new one. I don't really. I saw all of them except for maybe old and the latest one for the theaters. Knock at the Door. I've seen all the other ones. Okay. I've seen them all, and we'll talk about M. Night. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Until next time.
No, we're done.
Oh. Okay.
No,